General election ballot despite an attempt to block her candidacy by an ally of current Mayor Tiffany Henyard.
Mayoral candidate being challenged.
Tiffany Henyard, once known as the self-proclaimed super mayor of Dalton, has finally been arrested following a sweeping FBI operation that revealed the depth of her extensive corruption, abuse of authority, and reckless financial management. Once hailed as a bright future leader, Henyard's fall from grace has been both rapid and dramatic. She now faces 22 federal charges, including financial concealment and fund misappropriation. Henyard's lavish lifestyle, funded by taxpayer dollars, starkly contrasted with the deepening financial crisis that Dalton was experiencing, leaving the town on the brink of bankruptcy. While she indulged in excessive luxury, local residents endured worsening economic conditions. Her term as mayor was marked by excess and extravagance, including extravagant shopping sprees, expensive travel, and personal luxuries, all at the cost of Dalton's residents. Meanwhile, the town's economy continued to deteriorate. Henyard lived like royalty, using public funds as though they were her own personal fortune while the town's residents faced financial hardship. Her downfall came when the FBI, after an extensive investigation, executed a series of subpoenas that confirmed long-standing suspicions about her corrupt practices. This is not Henyard's first encounter with the law. She had a previous conviction for trespassing. But the charges she now faces are far more serious. With 22 federal counts against her, Henyard could face up to 25 years in prison. Among the most shocking revelations from the investigation is that she used taxpayer funds for personal shopping, including a $7,700 spree at Target, Walgreens, and Wayfair on September 1, 2023. While hardworking Dalton residents struggled to make ends meet, they had no idea that their tax dollars were being drained to fund Henyard's personal indulgences. Rather than serving the community, she transformed her office into a playground for her own enjoyment, even ordering police officers to run errands for her, effectively turning them into her personal staff. Her excessive travel habits also drained Dalton's finances, with over $122,000 spent on trips, depleting the town's once healthy $5.6 million surplus and leaving behind a massive $36 million deficit. One of the most egregious examples of her wasteful spending was a single driveway project that cost the town an astounding $561,000, money that could have been used for crucial community needs, but was instead spent to uphold Henyard's image and lifestyle. From hiring professional hair and makeup teams to enjoying taxpayer-funded motorcades, Henyard's focus remained on personal luxury, not public service. Her actions left both residents and municipal employees alienated, many feeling helpless as they watched the town's financial and infrastructural collapse under her leadership. Public resources that were supposed to fund essential services were instead used for her personal expenses, causing Dalton's infrastructure and services to fall into disrepair. The financial disaster she created was so extensive that it wasn't until a former police chief blew the whistle that the full scale of her corruption was exposed. The details of her alleged crimes revealed not just poor management, but a flagrant disregard for the people who elected her. Once seen as an untouchable figure, Henyard's empire of excess has now crumbled, leaving Dalton in ruins with her in custody. The town is left to pick up the pieces after her reckless tenure. Trust in local government has been severely damaged, and it is uncertain whether the community will ever fully recover from the harm caused. As the legal process continues, Dalton's residents are left hoping for justice and a chance to rebuild, determined to prevent such a catastrophic failure of leadership from happening again.
The doors are locked here, and there's a sign on the building right now that says it's closed for how long? Neither resident.
Recent revelations concerning Mayor Tiffany Henyard's tenure in office paint a profoundly disturbing picture of a leader driven by self-interest, financial imprudence, and an undeniable exploitation of taxpayer resources. Despite having her spending privileges revoked, Henyard went ahead with the planning of an extravagant $555,000 celebration for the town of Dalton, which featured notable entertainers such as Whale and Jay Holiday. Whale was paid $30,000 for a 30-minute performance, while Jay Holiday received $20,000 for his act. Additionally, Henyard allocated $36,000 for an audio system, enlisted comedians for entertainment, and even procured inflatable attractions at the cost of $6,600. The event, which attracted only 70 attendees, provoked widespread condemnation from the community, including Jennifer Roberts, who vehemently criticized the gross misuse of taxpayer funds. Municipal Officer Val Stubbs described the gathering as nothing more than an unnecessary self-promotion stunt, further inflaming public discontent. His remarks have contributed to Henyard's increasing isolation, as both local residents and federal authorities now scrutinize her every action with heightened attention. However, the most significant revelations came when Henyard's former confidant and closest associate, Carmen Carlisle, presented incriminating documents exposing the mayor's misconduct over the past 24 months. Carlisle, who had first-hand knowledge of Henyard's alleged misallocation of Dalton's finances, revealed that the mayor treated the town's funds as her personal financial reserve. Though Carlisle had initially remained silent, she ultimately became the key informant in the investigation, providing law enforcement with a comprehensive collection of receipts that laid bare Henyard's fiscal transgressions. Her disclosures have proven explosive, exposing the full extent of Henyard's economic mismanagement and the audacious steps she took to further her own interests at the expense of the public, despite mounting opposition from both residents and government officials. Henyard, showing no signs of relenting, has continued to follow an approach that some believe will only deepen the mounting scandals surrounding her. The Federal Bureau of Investigation's inquiry has intensified, fueled by Carlisle's testimony. The most recent disclosures have painted an even darker picture of Henyard's leadership, highlighting her glaring indifference toward fiscal accountability, even after her spending privileges had been revoked. She pressed forward with the lavish event detailed earlier, a $555,000 affair featuring performances by Whale and Jay Holiday, along with other unnecessary indulgences. The overwhelming expenditure has left the public in a state of disbelief, especially when contrasted with Dalton's increasingly dire financial situation. Former municipal officer Val Stubbs' description of the event as a self-aggrandizing spectacle reflects the prevailing sentiment that Henyard's actions amount to a betrayal of the public's financial trust. Public funds, which should have been directed toward essential services, were instead diverted to sustain Henyard's lavish preferences and excessive lifestyle. The decision to organize such an extravagant affair for a mere 70 attendees further underscores the stark contrast between Henyard's self-serving priorities and the real needs of Dalton's residents, who have been struggling with the decline of vital community resources. As the investigation continues, Carlisle has emerged as a crucial witness. Her testimony has provided law enforcement with critical intelligence regarding Henyard's spending habits and her apparent neglect of public welfare. According to Carlisle, Henyard not only misdirected government funds, but also exploited her position to advance her personal career and social standing. Carlisle's whistleblowing has illuminated the full scale of Henyard's transgressions, leading to the exposure of financial documents that chronicle years of economic misconduct. The distrust toward Henyard among Dalton's residents has only deepened as further details of her alleged corruption continue to emerge. Critics, including former officer Stubbs, have emphasized the glaring discrepancy between Henyard's extravagant expenditures and the minimal attendance at her organized functions, arguing that her conduct exemplifies clear fiscal irresponsibility, further destabilizing the town's already fragile economic condition. Henyard's utter disregard for Dalton's financial sustainability, coupled with her unwavering focus on self-promotion, has made it increasingly difficult for residents to retain confidence in their municipal government. Despite intensifying public backlash and the ongoing federal investigation, Henyard has shown no inclination to step down. Many believe that her refusal to acknowledge any wrongdoing will only escalate the scandal, particularly as more revelations about her financial misconduct surface. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, now bolstered by Carlisle's direct testimony, has placed Henyard under intense scrutiny. Authorities are dedicated to uncovering the full scope of her misuse of public funds, including her lavish travel, unnecessary security provisions, and dubious financial transactions. Investigators are also examining her philanthropic activities, which, according to several reports, may have served more as promotional tools for personal gain than genuine efforts to support the community. As these developments unfold, Dalton's residents are left grappling with the consequences of Henyard's alleged financial malpractice, with the stability of the town hanging in the balance.